Hey, everybody. Good evening and welcome to the adibiip Group Innovators Live Q&A with Amir and Victoria. I'm going to do this show today solo, starting a little later than usual, but I wanted to make sure that we continue to deliver high quality content to you guys every single day of the week. This is a Q&A show bringing you guys useful content related to patents, trade secrets, copyrights, and trademarks. If you guys have specific questions about intellectual property, please send them our way. You can reach me at our community number at 415-943-5193, 415-943-5193. I would love it if you join my text community. It makes me so happy, and I'd love to have you guys on there. And if you guys have specific questions about intellectual property, you can just text them to me, and I will answer them, and I will get your questions on the show. If you guys have ideas for future episodes, just shoot me a text, and I'd love to put your idea for an episode, make it reality, and actually do a show on whatever topic you're interested in learning about. So we're on a football kick right now because playoffs are coming up. Yesterday on episode 111, we looked at how football helmets are protected. So we saw how Riedel protects football helmets using design patents. Today, this is episode number 112, and we're going to also do a football topic. We're going to look at how Wilson's protects footballs using design patents. So we're going to look at Wilson's and how Wilson's protects design patents with protects footballs with design patents. So that's what we're going to be doing today on episode number 112. Oh, that was episode 111. So let's get started. So again, what I'm going to show you guys here, you guys can apply it to everything that you guys do. If you guys are interested in doing research on other companies or other industries, you can use some of the same tactics that I'm going to show you here on today's episode. So the place to start is, and I'm going to show you guys, actually, this is the search that we're going to do today. But ultimately, what you want is you want to go to uspto.gov. I'm already here. I've done a few things behind the scenes so that you guys wouldn't have to wait around for me loading sites. But I'm going to go ahead and click on patents. So again, I'm at uspto.gov. Let me go ahead and throw up that site. So you're going to go to uspto.gov. And once you're here, once you're at, I'm going to start from scratch from the top. So uspto.gov, and then you're going to click on menu, and then you're going to click on patents, and then you're going to click on patents home, and then you're going to click on search patents. Then when you're here, you're going to scroll down and you're going to click on advanced search right here. Now in here, again, I showed you guys the search that we're going to do, but this is the search. So just go ahead and see if I can type that in. So AN stands for Assanee, and then I'm just gonna type in the name of Wilson and Sporting Goods. And again, I'm using ANS because I want the search to hit all Assanee records that have all three words, Wilson, Sporting, and Goods. And for those of you guys who are unfamiliar, I'll show you the real quick Wikipedia page on them, just so you guys can have the background. But a lot of you guys that are into sports know this is one of the big American sports manufacturing brands. You might see them on tennis rackets, baseballs, badminton, footballs, basketballs, soccer, every sport you can imagine. They develop and manufacture and sell equipment. So let's get back to it. So we're taking a look right now. So this is the search. So we're going to look by Assanee. Now, if you don't remember AN is the Assanee search code, that's okay. If you just scroll down, there's a whole key that explains to you how you guys can use these search codes. And if you see here, AN is Assanee name. Now, I'm gonna focus the search around design patents so that we can look at how design patents are used to protect. But again, there are other options for protecting objects like footballs. For example, utility patents. You could file a utility patent, possibly as long as it's new and novel. You could file a utility patent on a way of making a football, stitching it, just depending on whether or not it's new and novel and sufficiently patentable. It might be possible to have a utility patent on a football. So let's go ahead. So we're going to do Wilson and Sporting and Goods, and then we're gonna focus on applications that have the word football in the spec, and then we're going to search for design patent. So APT is a design search code. Spec is the specification search code. Again, if you guys are unclear, forgot that, just scroll down, read the legend, you'll see it. So APT is right here. And then spec is, if you scroll down even more, you'll find spec. Oh, sorry, scroll up, you'll find spec right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click search. And I'm going to see 11 results. Here they are here. Now, to save you guys time, what I did was I already opened them beforehand. So this first one here, if you wanted to do it, if you're following this video on your own, all you do is you just click here and it'll take you to the first hit, and you'll be able to click on, you can read the text, but there's not gonna be much text. This is a design patent, and you're gonna wanna click on images. Now, when you click on images, you'll be able to actually see the actual patent here. Now, to save us time, I opened all 11 beforehand just so that we could quickly scan through them. So let's take a look at the first one. So this one is relatively old, from 2003. And this is titled Ball Lacing with Raised Pebble Surface. Again, this is a Wilson Sporting Goods design patent. And so let's take a look. So what you'll notice is that the broken lines aren't part of the claim design. So the actual football, the outlines of the football are not part of the design. However, the laces in the center, those are being claimed and protected with a design patent. So again, the way to describe it is a ball lacing with raised pebbled surface, and that is their design patent. And here's a nice zoomed in picture of it. Let's keep scrolling down. As you can see, there's the lacing. You can see, here's another view of the lacing, and here's a side view of the lacing. So there you have it, and here's a zoomed in view of the lacing. So as you can see, the top surface of the laces have a pebbled surface. So that is what's being protected here by this design patent. So, and this is actually a very, very nice picture of that. Again, you can see it. You can see these pebbles that slightly protrude upwards from the lace surface. So pretty neat. So this design patent, 2003, as you can see, it's expired by now, since 14 years is the length of time for design patents. Now that's been increased recently to 15 years, but I'll go into that later as we see these later design patents. Now let's take a look. This patent here, this one is also covering the laces, but it's also covering the design of the football, as you can see here. So remember the dash lines. So what they're claiming here, dash lines are just trying to show the grooved portions, but they're not forming part of the claim design. So this text here, Wilson, is not part of the claim design. However, these solid lines here, these solid lines, and the laces, these are all part of the claim design. So again, this is 2008, so this is 5 years later. Now let's keep going forward. So this is also very similar, also 2008. And as you'll know, this one's actually claiming more features, so we can compare the two. You see, this one has more dash lines. This one has more dash lines. This one has less dash lines. So again, design patents, great way to protect your articles. And we can scroll down, take another look at this one. So as you can see, these dash lines are not part of the claim design, but these grooves, the design of the grooves, this is what they're protecting in this design patent. Let's take a look at this next patent here. Okay. So this is showing the bottom side and perspective view of a football. So this is the bottom side, and this is what they're protecting. So not the top. So they literally took one article. You can imagine they cut it in half. Conceptually, they claim the top half in one application and the bottom half in another application. So super fascinating. You can see this figure 4. And if we go back, I'm guessing if you look at figure 4, you'll see the reverse. So that makes sense. So the top half is dashed, and this one is solid in the bottom. And in this application, the top is not dashed; it's solid. So very interesting. Let's move on to the next patent. So this design patent, also 2008, and as you can see, this has more dashed lines above and some below as well. Let's move on in time. This is also 2008, so another design patent. Again, dash lines not claiming part of the claim design. Football lacing. So this design patent is focused just on the lacing of the football. So pretty interesting. As you can see here, this cross lace here. Now note, they're only claiming 4 laces in this particular design. So there you have it. Again, the dash lines are not part of the claim design. As you can see here, you can see how these laces overlap. So pretty fascinating. And again, this is 2017. So this is much later. This is 9 years later. And what's interesting is you'll see that the term changed to 15 years. That was a result of the American Invents Act. So design patents were extended from 14 years to 15 years. And if we move on to 2020, now this is super recent. This is just, 9 months ago or 10 months ago. And as you can see, this This is covering another football design of a football. Again, the dashed line is not part of the claim design, but as you can see here, this very interesting design in the center, this is being claimed as part of the football in addition to the outer boundary. So pretty neat. Pretty neat. And again, this dashed line, the W, these are not part of the claim design. So let's take a look at some of the other patents that they have. So again, this is 2020 and just claiming this top contour here. Let's see what this patent is about, this next one. So this is also 2020. And as you can see, very similar design, and we're going to see a similar pattern where we have the same football, the same article, but multiple design patents are filed on that same article, right? So this is probably a good indicator this football is probably worth some money, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't have gone about spending resources on it. But as you can see here, in this one, the center area where the laces are dashed, and then in the back, sorry, not in the back, but these sides here have solid lines. So as you can see here, so in this one, the laces and these top designs on the top of the football around the laces are not protected. But these lines that extend out of the laces are being protected. Now, this patent was in April 14 of 2020. And again, very similar. But now this is a combo. So it's also protecting these lines that extend away from the surrounding design around the laces, in addition to the area that surrounds the laces. And this is also April of 2020. Now let's move on. Now this patent, this one is protecting, dashed lines are not part of the claim design, but this one does not claim the center, the lines that extend from the center area surrounding the laces or the design around the laces, but it protects these lines that extend radially on the ends of the football. So pretty interesting. And this is actually a really nice view right here. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so you guys can see a little better. As you can see here, these solid line, solid line, solid line. But then the ones in the center are all dashed. So the laces and the design around the laces and the text is not part of the claim design. So there you have it. Those are off the stream. These are this episode was on Wilson's 11 design patents. Pretty interesting and pretty cool to see how Wilson uses design patents to protect their footballs. And again, this is something that we also learned yesterday when we did the episode on Riedel's helmets. It's really interesting because you can have a single helmet, but multiple design patents filed on that same helmet. So pretty interesting way of using design patents to fully cover the various aspects and designs around your footballs. There's a question here. Pretty cool. Any utility patents covering these footballs have an operable range of PSI? Yeah. The utility patents that I found by Wilson's having to do with footballs most recently had to do with adding sensors to the footballs. And I was actually thinking about doing an episode on them in the future. But again, I for those of you that aren't sports fans, I think he's getting at the Deflategate scandal and whether or not there's a way of addressing that, where basically probably the football ensures a certain PSI or has some indicator, or there's some wireless mechanism for detecting when a football pressure is too low or maybe even too high. So definitely interesting. I haven't researched that exact point, but I think we're gonna, especially since we're in the heart of football season, I think it'd be cool to do more episodes on football and sports in general. But football, it's really popular, obviously, and a lot of money goes into it too, which I think is another reason why it's worth exploring IP around football. There's a lot of resources that go into it, and just because there's such a huge viewership of it. So thanks a lot for your question. And that was episode number 112. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're gonna have a lot more awesome episodes for you guys. And again, if you guys really like our stuff, please follow us, like us, and then also text our community number 415-943-5193, 943-5193. Would love to have you on my text community. You'll have direct access to me. If you guys have questions, you can text them to me. I'll do my best to answer them. And even if you just have ideas for future episodes, I would love to hear out your ideas and possibly feature you on the show or your ideas on the show, because ultimately what we're trying to do is just deliver as much high quality content to you guys as we possibly can. This is episode number 112, and looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow for episode number 113. Thank you.